Donna, while this MOU contains some of the federal concessions the oil and gas industry has long been calling for, there are plenty of contingencies, not the least of which involve getting Indigenous opponents on side. It was an announcement that had a room full of Alberta energy heavyweights on their feet, optimistic about attracting new investors, including one willing to build a new West Coast pipeline for the first time in almost a decade.
Before, we said there was regulatory frameworks that were in our way and they weren't signaling anything good for investors. And I think now, as you heard the Premier say, 7 of the 9 bad laws that she said have been negotiated on, and I think that's a really positive signal.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Across town, thousands of members of Calgary's business community lined up to hear details from the Prime Minister himself.
Canada will also take steps to enable the export of bitumen to Asia, including adjusting the so-called tanker ban, if necessary.
But what received applause in Calgary is being met with anger on the BC coast.
Today's MOU does nothing to improve the chances of a North Coast pipeline ever becoming reality. Coastal First Nations, along with the province of BC, will do everything in our power to protect our coast from a real threat of an oil spill.
While the federal government will have the final say on a potential project, the MOU states that a new pipeline would be co-owned by an Indigenous partner.
For the First Nations here in Alberta, it's an opportunity for us to be involved in some kind of economic venture that will be long-lasting for our communities.
Now, it's worth noting that when the Trudeau government purchased the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion back in 2018, there was talk right away of having an Indigenous group take on partial ownership eventually. But 7 years later, we haven't seen that happen. Donna?
Okay, Heather Yourex-West in Calgary, thank you.